Hey folks, this is Scott Trotter, and I would like to share a few moments with you guys and a bit of a story I want to share with especially the family of a dear friend of our families, Shirley Anderson. Great woman, got to have the pleasure of growing up around when I was a kid, and on Mother's Day she lost her life to this COVID thing in an outbreak in Perryton, Texas. And I apologize, I'm an emotional man. I have passion. And when people hear me speak, I speak with passion. And Shirley helped add that to my personality when I was a child of 8 years old. I want to share you this story, but I'm going to do it to some music that I have found that really helped us find a way to cope with the situation we all find ourselves in unique variations of ways. And we've got folks in nursing homes that are being affected by this. Case in point, on a massive scale in our history is being lost. These great people with stories and everything. And I want to share a little bit of a story with her family that I experienced with her and what happened in my life because of her. And I'll do it to a song by a band named Avi Kaplan. He is an artist, this musician is an extreme influence at this time in our lives personally. My son has done this interesting deal to his music, and his music has healed in so many ways. And this song, for me, I have listened to every single morning of this entire time in my life that I share with my children, my wife, and my family and friends that we are sharing here, because there may be ways, I don't know. Shirley, love you, and this is a song for you. I'm going to talk and tell a story to this song by Avi Kaplan called Other Side. When I was a little kid, she babysat me for a little while, and I had a great time. She was so fun. She was one of the first babysitters I ever had as a child. And she had a laser disc. And if anybody out there knows what this is, it was like some of the first at-home theater movie type experiences you could have. It was on laser disc. It was absolutely the most futuristic thing I could ever think of, imagine. And because I grew up watching Star Trek, and that was the best. I had a utopian vision of the world, and it was Star Trek. I got that with my own mother. But Shirley introduced me to the world of true cinema. Because when we were kids, all we had was an antenna, and half the time we didn't even get channels. We couldn't watch nothing. There was 3 years that we had no television because we had a switch on the back nobody knew to flip to channel 3 or channel 4. But there was this time where I was with Shirley, and she was so fun. And we were watching, I was 8 years old, and probably shouldn't have done this in hindsight with little kids, but we didn't, we exposed our kids to more stuff back then because they could handle it. But I watched a rated R movie for the first time at home with Shirley Anderson. She fed me some vanilla wafers. We had such a great time, and I watched for the very first time in my life the movie Alien. And that was such a unique spin on what I saw as the idealized future through Star Trek. And she introduced me to a whole new world of science fiction I'd never seen because I was still young. I wasn't even really, I just wasn't exposed to that yet. I was still reading children's books and a lot of, that kind of stuff. And in this unique experience, I got to witness one of the greatest creations in science fiction history that I can imagine. And through Shirley's willingness to share something like that with me, because she knew I loved it. I love science fiction. I love Star Trek. I talked about it all the time. And so she showed me this movie on Laserdisc and fed me vanilla wafers. And I saw something different. It was real life, really. Star Trek was that vision, that dream we all have. And Shirley helped me show me that there's a real world, because I lived in this little science fiction world when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, I drew so many pictures. I was one of those artist guys. I eventually went to college, Shirley, and she knows this because she followed me through the entire path. We have had a Facebook page, and since day one, she's been friends. She linked up to us again, this weird little time travel thing. And Shirley was always there in all these little adventures and these stories that I got to tell. Always, she liked them all, and she would follow, and she loved the joy we were putting out there, because she was stuck in this nursing home over here in Perryton, Texas, with so many other folks who just, that's where we're all heading if we can survive that long. But man, stories, we have so many great stories, and most of us don't take the time out of our day to tell our own kids the stories. And I started telling my kids stories. And I kid you not, I had a very emotional moment with my children when I told them this story, and my wife, and tears came to my eyes like they are now, because she was a very important woman in my own personal experiences in life, and how she helped me guide me on a path to where I have led many adventures, and I get to play with my kids and have fun with it. But I have this love of cinema and movies and all that stuff that we've always been involved with my agency and all these different things. And Shirley, you helped inspire that. I know you can hear me. I just want to say it out loud so you've heard me, because I always just, I saw you liking, and you saw you talking, and we comment together on Facebook, but that was all the interaction. I never called you. We never talked to each other verbally, because our whole world has changed into this weird texting thing. People don't really call much. Shirley, I wish I'd called you, but I know we talked, and I know we had a connection. I want to share this with you and your family. From the Trotters, our condolences, family. We love you all. I'm sorry there's a commercial going, so the power of advertising at work right there. Every minute we're listening to something, but we love you guys. And blessings on your families. Prayers with the Trotters, head in that direction. Thank you.